Hey, thank you so much for tuning in to Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. I am music producer Achickwitbeatz.
And I'm entrepreneur Breezy Gipson.
And we're glad that you're here with us today. We've got a show lined up for you with music industry news, beats by yours truly. And we have a special guest, the incredible DJ Milk D will be joining us later. And just want to give a super shout out to our home stations, Grander Radio out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Sparks Radio out of Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm really kind of excited to get this show started. It's been a lot of cool stuff happening, some stuff to be aware of, and just some interesting things. So, yeah, I'm kind of excited to get to it. How about you?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's go. All right. We've got some music industry news for you. And to kick it off, Warner Music Group plans an additional 10% workforce reduction, shedding about 600 jobs just to boost their music investment. So they're undergoing significant layoffs, primarily within its owned and operated media properties like Uproxx, Hip Hop DX, IMGN. And I mean, it's just kind of happening across the board here. So the CEO, Robert Kinkle, confirmed that the company's exit from these platforms, they're seeking buyers for Uproxx and Hip Hop DX while just shutting down the IMGN and Interval Presents. So he asserts that Warner is actually making these changes from a position of strength and supported by positive financial results because they had a good quarter. But the downsizing aims to generate about $200 million in annual cost savings by September of 2025. And so they're going to take that savings and focus on reinvesting in music. So, it's kind of an interesting story, and to see what they're seeing as far as value, because it seems like we have multiple stories every month about, these labels that keep purchasing smaller labels in different areas. And so, yeah, I'm kind of interested to see exactly where they'll put that extra $200 million that they'll save by getting rid of those platforms.
Wow. Stuff keeps happening.
Yeah. And so, just in case you haven't actually made that connection, the fact that they were owning Uproxx and Hip Hop DX can also explain a lot of the music stories that you would see those platforms post. Because, of course, they're going to want to help benefit Warner artists. So, always think about that whenever you're getting your news stories, your information, your music reviews and all that stuff, is who owns it? Who owns the company that's providing the information that you're looking for? So that's something to keep in mind. All right. Warner Music CEO affirms the fairness of their deal with TikTok, and he says that he's optimistic about the Universal standoff resolution. So formerly, he was YouTube's chief business officer, and he said that he understands negotiations from both perspectives. So he asserts that hosting music on tech platforms is mutually advantageous. And Kinkle also highlights music's role in video virality. So, a lot of times those videos do get popular because of the songs chosen. And, it helps user engagement in the platforms, and it contributes to the popularity of the music. And so with that being said, he's like, hey, we're not saying that Universal's doing the wrong thing or the right thing. They just know that their deal was fair for what they were looking for. And hopefully TikTok and Universal can come to some kind of agreement soon, because, it's been a lot of videos muted because of that. And I know that some creators are frustrated, and rightfully so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they would be frustrated, that's for sure. Behind that.
Yeah. All right. And BMI's acquisition by New Mountain Capital-led group has been finalized. New Mountain Capital led a shareholder group in acquiring a majority stake in BMI, with the acquisition price estimated around $1.7 billion. And Capital G, which is Google/Alphabet's growth fund, also acquired a minority stake as a part of that group. So the deal received the necessary approvals, and former BMI shareholders said that they'll allocate $100 million to affiliates as a recognition of their creativity. So yeah, I know I've been asked several times by various people if, they should stick with BMI, move to ASCAP or CSAC. But yeah, as I've stated previously and still will continue to state, you got to do what feels right for you. And, just make sure you do your research on all ends and pick the best fit for yourself.
Wise advice.
All right. Spotify distributed $9 billion to music rights holders in 2023, and keep seeing that headline everywhere. But that's just 63% of its annual revenue. So to kind of dig in a little bit deeper, the company says it delivered the $9 billion to record companies, music publishers, independent distributors, performance rights organizations, and collecting societies. So that actually, to be specific, is about 62.8% of its revenues of $14.336 billion. So, for a company that often boasts that it's giving 70% of every, or I guess 70 cents for every dollar to rights holders, I got some more questions, because that's definitely not 70%, which was already too low to begin with, if you ask me. I mean, what manager or agent do you know that takes 30% of what the client gets? So, just a lot of stuff to look at. But it's just kind of funny that, they're kind of focusing on the highlights of it. Oh, we gave $9 billion to the music industry, but didn't mention that that was just barely over half of what they made.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have some thoughts on that.
Well, yeah. Well, you know what? We don't even have enough time for me to get into what I think about that. Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, let me simmer on that one.
Okay. All right. Exploring music festival posters. Tom, I believe it's Brahan, analyzed some insights into the music industry. So he was a writer for Stereo Gum for quite some time now, but he said that the summer festival lineup posters on CBC podcasts is where he was actually talking about, in case you want to check it out yourself. But he noted that the headliner choices like Lana Del Rey, Tyler the Creator, and Doja Cat kind of suggest shrinking festival budgets. So he's saying that organizers are now basically prioritizing artists with devoted fan bases, almost, cult-like, to boost ticket sales. And so it's been kind of evidenced by Coachella's recent slow ticket sales, marking the lowest it's ever been in a decade. In the past, passes sold out within an hour or maybe at most like half a day. But this year, there's still passes available for the first weekend. And this was after, being on sale for 6 days. So, I mean, we're seeing that maybe some things are changing for people. Not as many people are interested in attending these, depending on who's coming. And so, yeah, it's just kind of, it's insightful in the fact that you can see how they're trying to change their strategy to accommodate these upcoming changes. And, by seeking people who, have that base that they're just going to come out to see them no matter where they are or what they're doing. And so it looks like, they're looking for people that kind of have that evergreen, that staying power, people who are really devoted to them. And that can always be helpful for an independent artist to kind of mirror that as well, making sure that you're making genuine connections with your fans, kind of giving them some insight to your life, a little bit of who you are, some behind the scenes type stuff. Like, that's the thing that keeps people coming back to support you. So, to think, okay, festivals say, oh, we don't really have that big of a budget this year, so you know what, we're going to go for this person, that person, and that person, because we know that their following is going to be behind them and we're going to be able to sell these tickets. So yeah, just kind of an interesting tidbit and something to keep in mind.
Yeah, very much.
All right, Illuminate has bought the music data firm Quantic, and it maintains the world's largest artist identification base with over 2.5 million ISNIs, which are the artist identifiers, and 200 million asset identifiers. So Illuminate's going to incorporate Quantic's data into its platform in phases, while Quantic's clients can access Illuminate streaming and sales data now. So, kind of a move that makes a lot of sense, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this will help artists.
Well, these days, everything that we can possibly talk about that helps artists, I've got a thumbs up for, as long as it's totally positive. And so, yeah, this goes right along with that.
Mm-hmm. All right. In Q4, Sony Music and Publishing earned $2.5 billion, which was up 14% from last year. Sony's global recorded music division saw a significant increase in revenue in the fourth quarter, reaching $1.937 billion. So it marked a 14.8% rise compared to the same period in the previous year. And streaming, which includes both subscription and ad-supported services, accounted for the majority of the revenue, totaling $1.261 billion, which was an increase of 12.3% from the same time last year. Physical music sales did have a slight decline and generated 213.2 million, which was down 2.7% from the same time in the previous year. Sony's other category with recorded music includes various sources like licensing revenue, merch, live performances. Basically did really well. It reached 403.9 million in revenue, and it represented an increase of 39.7% year over year. So, I mean, lots of ups. Even that down, I mean, of course, you don't want to see it go down, but it was by a small amount, especially for physical music. The fact that people are still investing a lot in that, for the decline to be that small, I think is still pretty much a good sign, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. Absolutely. And the live performances. I don't know for sure just who this artist is linked up with, so I have to do some research. I just heard about this morning. But Santana announced, or Santana's people announced a big Atlanta concert coming up, and that goes along with I mentioned previously. There seems to be an uptick on these live performances, and so I'm going to do some digging behind that again to see if he's with Sony or who he's with. But it's just a tidbit.
Yeah, it ties right in. All right, and NYU's Clive Davis Institute has partnered with Atlantic Records for career development, and so that particular institute is doing a semester-long collaboration that's aimed at trying to help people who want to get in the industry develop their careers, not just kind of get thrown into it, but to be able to progress and do well. So this includes feedback sessions, lectures, paid internships, and a songwriting camp where students and alumni can work with Atlantic artists. So it's going to be led by Atlantic executives like an A&R president, Pete Ganberg specifically, offering insight to students and businesses like for artistic opportunities and collaborations. They're using 8 different events at the Brooklyn location and Atlantic's Manhattan offices where students can gain direct access to industry professionals. And the program is now going to be a new approach to expand their understanding of career paths and the different routes that they can go depending on what their interests are. So with over 100 participants expected, the collaboration is going to coincide with the Clive Davis Institute's 20th anniversary, and it's going to require applications for some opportunities like the paid internships. So I think that this is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. If you're listening and it's something that you're interested in, maybe you can apply or at least let someone else know. But I think anytime you can be learning and actually kind of get that hands-on experience and, have direct access to professionals who are doing what you're trying to do is a great opportunity. So I'm excited for all the students that get to take part in that.
Yeah. Well, that name, Clive Davis, been around. The name itself, signifies some kind of forward motion. So on the positive tip. So yeah, we'll see where this heads.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. And then the final story from my side of music industry news is about the Sony Music investing in Michael Jackson's catalog and the valuing rights exceeding $1.2 billion. Now, there's a lot of speculation in every article that's been put out about this. So all these numbers have been kind of, best guesstimates on how much they actually invested into the particular catalog. But with the whole catalog being worth over 1.2 billion, there's any range that they could have taken part in. And the best guess is that it was probably somewhere around 600, I think, thousand or million actually. But like I said, it's a whole bunch of guesswork. But the interesting part of the story to me was basically how his streams and sales have been doing recently. So Michael Jackson's music sales and streams showed steady growth, increasing from 1.07 million album equivalent units in 2020. Okay, that's already a lot, to 1.47 million in 2023. So that was a 37% rise in 3 years. And this actually outpaced the overall US music market's album consumption and unit growth. That was 22.9% during that same time frame. So out of all that growth, his catalog actually saw more growth than the rest of the music industry did. That's amazing. And to top that off, his popularity internationally has remained strong with a 38.3% increase in music consumption from 6.5 billion on-demand streams in 2023, which is up from 4.7 billion in 2021. To be doing these kind of numbers so much later than the time of his passing is just it's awing. And the release of the Michael biopic next year will likely drive increased consumption and revenue to his estate and other rights holders. So basically, whatever amount Sony Music actually invested in the catalog, they are about to be paid. That's the bottom line. So yeah, I just thought that those statistics were kind of interesting, right?
Yes. No doubt. And following that up, in the state of Georgia in the USA, legislative bill to create the Georgia statewide music office is moving forward. The Creative Arts and Entertainment Committee met at the state capitol on Monday, voting favorably to approve the bill. Okay, House Bill 549 is the Georgia Statewide Music Office Act. That's sponsored by State Representative Tyler Smith after seeing Usher's performance at the Super Bowl involving a number of Georgia-born artists. And so the commission is going to appoint a statewide music advisory council consisting of Georgia creators, recording studio owners, and music industry leaders. And so the Georgia Council for the Arts currently estimates that the music industry contributes $3.7 billion statewide annually. So that's created quite a buzz amongst people on the front line who are in the studios, who are artists, independent artists, and equipment managers, and so on and so forth. And so I'm going to post a link if you want to join the Georgia Music Business Directory. I'll have that on my IG page, Breezy Gipson. And so just look for a specific post concerning that, and look it up, and then see if that fits you. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but just check it out.
Mm-hmm. Good information. And I just find it so amazing that it took the Super Bowl halftime to kind of, spark that thought. I mean, Georgia's been so rich with talent for so long, but I'm very, very glad that something like this is becoming available now. It's better late than never, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, there's only one other in the country, and that's in Nashville, the home of
another music capital. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but hey, so let's see if that sparks a growth amongst other states nationwide. Hope so.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to take a quick pause for the cause, and then we'll be back with our special guest, DJ Milk D.
Yeah. Hey family, this is Breezy Gipson, social media influencer. If you're an aspiring artist or if you're a seasoned professional music artist and you have a music video that you want to share with a global television audience, your search is over. Whether it's jazz, rock, hip hop, Latino, gospel, pop music, country, house, techno, reggae, Hispanic, and other genres, this is the right spot. Whether you're located in the United States, Europe, Africa, South America, India, Mexico, Asia, Australia, Italy, or other countries, we got you covered. Contact me at getsparksnow@gmail.com. That's GETSPARKXNOW@gmail.com, or leave me a message at 678-632-2620. Let's get it together.
Hey, this is Achickwitbeatz. I am a multi-genre music producer and strategist to indie artists and labels. Visit my website, Achickwitbeatz.com, for resources for artists and instrumentals available in various genres for songs, vlogs, blogs, podcasts, themes, TV, film, commercials, and more. Once again, that's Achickwitbeatz.com, ACHICKWITBEATZ. Let's make something happen. Thank you so much for tuning in to Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. And I am excited, thrilled, and delighted to announce that we have with us today in the virtual building, DJ Milk D. How are you feeling?
I'm doing great, and thank you for having me.
Great. So, if you could just take a moment and kind of give everybody a little bit of background, who is DJ Milk D? What kind of got you started in the music and doing what you do, and what you kind of represent in the world today.
All right. Well, first and foremost, I am DJ Milk D, and I'm currently living in Richmond, Virginia. I was born and raised in South Jersey. Been in this phenomenal music industry ever since I was 11 years old. Thanks to my big brother, Double D. His name is Derek. I call him Double D. He was the first one to introduce me to vinyl, 12-inch records. Him and I would go over to Philadelphia to sound the market and buy vinyl. It was only $2.99. He was the first one to expose me to the turntables and mixer. Just opened my eyes to the hip hop genre, and fell in love with hip hop. And I didn't really start from hip hop to house until maybe mid 90s. I'm 52, going on 53 in May, Lord willing. So music has been with me quite some time. House music has kind of trumped hip hop, but hip hop's not forgotten. I produce house, but have not attempted to produce hip hop. That doesn't mean I won't do it. But I've been so focused on house music.
Yeah, that's what's up. I definitely have a huge affection for it. Listen to a lot of greats and great songs and stuff coming up. My aunt in Chicago introduced me to some stuff, and I just kind of latched on to it. So listening to your work and some of your mixes and some of the things that you share on social media has just been like, I just love the energy of the music and yourself, even when you're doing what you do. So I feel like that's kind of contagious, and it's definitely one of those things where you can tell when someone's meant to do something. You just kind of see it and hear it in your work.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I love music. I love to entertain. I don't knock any other DJ or producer who doesn't give a lot of energy. Everyone is different. I just can't stay still when I hear music. Even if I'm in my car and I'm driving and a song comes on, I start moving. So I'm the same way when I DJ. I've gotten so much love lately because I'm a carnival DJ, and a lot of passengers contact me asking when am I going back on the ship because of my energy and how I interact with them. They want to plan their vacations around me, which is a blessing. I'm just being me. I'll get messages also. There's negative messages where they say I'm trying too hard, or, you know, you jump around too much. But I'm really just being me. I tell people also, like on the radio DJing, when you love what you do, it never feels like work. So when I'm on Carnival, or I'm doing a wedding or some type of party, corporate event, I'm making money, yes, but it doesn't feel like a job.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, at least from everything that I've seen, you can tell that it's authentic. And sometimes people just don't really know how to handle that type of positivity, you know, so they kind of want to shut it down because they don't understand it, or they know that it's something that they're not feeling themselves. But yeah, no, I can definitely see how authentic it is and everything that you share. And yeah, I see Breezy was itching with a question or a comment. I can see it in his face.
Well, I'll tell you what, your delivery right there is just infusing a lot of energy. Okay, it's just bringing in a lot of energy right there, and so one can only imagine, based on your voice and the enunciation that you're giving with the description of what you're involved with. It's like, man, we got to be right there, like right now. Okay, so and I know that's passing on straight through the list to the listeners. It's just, you know, I got to give you real props on, you know, it's not just a talk, it's an experience. And so that's what I'm feeling right now.
Oh, thank you, Breezy. I appreciate that.
I'm sorry, you kind of cut up a little bit. What was that last thing you said?
Oh, I just told him, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And it's nice to meet him.
Awesome.
Pleasure to meet you too, sir. Pleasure. The pleasure is all mine from the way you're
Oh, thank you.
So, you know, like what you mentioned about people wanting to plan their vacations around when you were going to be DJing again. I mean, I know that you're grateful and appreciate that, but can we stop for a moment and just think about what that means? Now, being on a cruise ship, a Carnival cruise ship at that, I've been on, I know how incredible it is. There's so many things to do. You know, you're going to have a good time, but that's not enough for them. They want to know when you're going to be back there again. That's really, really amazing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. It's a blessing. Like I said earlier, I'm just being me. But what I feel is a plus to me as a DJ is that I can read the crowd. I look out there and I say, oh, okay, I see this and I see that. And that gives me the vision to know what to play. You don't want to, a DJ shouldn't play what he or she likes. You have to be able to connect with your audience because your audience is who's going to make you or break you. So when I look out there and I see a maybe age group, and I say, oh, okay, this is going to be disco. It's going to be 70s. Or I may see a younger age group and I say, okay, I got to play some Lizzo or some Drake or something like that. But I also try my best to make them feel involved, like they're part of the show. And the comments that my manager sent me was comments saying, DJ Milk D knew exactly what to play and he knew what to say. And that just goes back to just being able to read your audience.
Yeah. So you know what to play, know what to say. That's controlling the crowd. Sounds like you're a DJ who's also technically an MC, right? So yeah, maybe that hip hop will be coming pretty soon, huh?
Maybe, because I was told recently, because I'm really trying to be a house music DJ, and I was told recently, like, Milk, you got to stay off the mic. House music DJs don't talk on the mic. So it's like, it's choking me not to get on the mic when I do house. So this is going to be a learning curve for me. Even when I DJ on my radio station and I do a house music show, no one can see me in my studio, but I'm still putting the energy out, and my friends say, D, I know what you're doing. He says, but house DJs don't do that. So, I'm choking myself a little bit by not being me, if that makes sense.
But hey, maybe you could start a trend though. Somebody always has to be the first to do it.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. So, I mean, man, that's just incredible. But could you tell us a little bit about your station and, what you're doing with that and some of your shows?
Absolutely. So my radio station has a very unique name. It's Europe Radio, which is YU, 3 R's and a P, radio.com. I have on my hoodie. I don't know if you can see it clearly. Yeah. So to give you a quick story of that name, I used to be a video gamer. I played like PlayStation. Was a game called SOCOM. It was a military game. And I was playing with a bunch of people, and one famous person, his name is Method Man from Wu-Tang. Ooh. And we had become friends through a mutual friend. And make a long story short, we were all in this room together. It was me, Method Man, Street Life, few of our teammates, and I was the last person alive. And I won this game, and everybody on my team was dead. I was the only one alive, and I made the last kill or whatever. And I just yelled out, "Europe!" And I've been saying that since. Let me see. This was 98. So since 1998, I've been yelling Europe. I didn't come up with this radio station until the pandemic hit, and it was a no-brainer. I was like, okay, it's going to be Europe Radio because everyone knows me as Europe. I'm always yelling it when I get excited. So my radio station, like I said, started in 2021, kind of after the pandemic hit. I had lost my job in 2020, and I felt like it was a blessing because that particular job was a great job. Worked for Rolls-Royce Aerospace Division. I inspected jet engines, and I worked a night shift, so I never really saw my wife. And I said, okay, this closing is not going to upset me because this is going to give me a chance to work on my craft as a DJ. Wrote a short story book, just did some things that I wouldn't have done if I still was working that 50 to 55 hour a week job. So 2021, my brother and I said, okay, D, let's do something different. And I was DJing on a European radio station, and I learned how they were doing it. And then, of course, my brother and I did. And it's been running now since 21. All genres of music, with a little bit of favoritism towards house. But then on Sundays, I play in the morning Christian contemporary gospel. And then around 2 o'clock, I slowly transition into some house, like some soulful house. But I play rock and roll. I play go-go. I play disco. I play jazz. I play zydeco, like New Orleans music, country. So just about every genre my station plays. Old school hip hop, you'll hear stuff like Sugar Hill Gang, Kool Moe Dee, Curtis Blow, Houdini. And then you'll hear, some Drake and, some current, but a lot of old school hip hop. And it's certain days for certain genres. I'll go live. I have resident DJs that send me mixes. I have 2 other DJs that will go live. I'm working on getting podcasts, something like what you're doing, what you guys are doing. I want to try to implement. I have merchandise out. Currently trying to promote it, but it's a lot when you're kind of doing it yourself. So the help is needed, to be honest. Just got to find the right type of help. Because when it's your baby, you're kind of protected of it. But that's kind of an idea of what my station brings and kind of when it started. But I'm working on adding some things to it. Okay. So if people want to listen and check you out, you just hit up the website or? Yes. So it is YU3Rs and a P radio.com. On Instagram, I have it in my bio. It is out on Android phones, not yet on iOS. Still working on that. But definitely you can search it through Google and, you could tap listen live, and it's 24/7 and it's worldwide. So I have people in Europe, Tokyo, just crazy when I look at my map where people tune in. So that's a blessing too. That's phenomenal. That's so cool. Isn't it, Breezy?
Wow. I mean, it's like, I don't want to say dream come true, but in another sort, it's really an excellent opportunity that you've taken by the horns and just nurtured it, molded it, blended it, and sounds like a winner to me. Thank you, Breezy. Thank you, guys. So it's YU, 3 R's, and a P for Paul, radio.com. So yourradio.com. All right, awesome. And, really thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to chat with us and share all this goodness that you're working on. And I'm pretty sure Breezy will agree with me that we got to have you back sometime soon. So I feel like we only just scratched the surface, I would love to come back, guys. You just let me know when it's good for you too, and I am there. Okay, and I'd like to give a super huge shout out to Deep Spawn Logic, because I believe that is actually how we cross paths. So, shout out to her. She's been on our show before as well. And so thank her for this connection, most definitely. Absolutely. Just really quick about her. She is phenomenal, not just as an artist, but as a person. Call her my sis. Because I'm new at being a house music producer, and I'm always sending her music, and she is so helpful. Oh my goodness. So yes, love to Deep Spawn Logic. Yes. All right. So we already know we got to get you back soon. Make sure that we get the schedule probably before we even let you go. But if there's any
like final thoughts you kind of want to leave with the audience, any special shout outs, or if you want to drop some places where they can find your music or follow you, you're free to do all that at this time.
Awesome. So you can follow me on Instagram. That is DJ _ milk _ the letter D for Daryl. YouTube, it's DJ Milk D. Spotify, DJ Milk D. Facebook, DJ Milk D. I do have music out on all platforms, which is Future House Music /tech. I have 3 songs I call a trilogy out, called Walking on Mars, Purple Dance Floor, and Jumpin' Jupiter. And I have 2 videos out. Shout out once again to Despawn Logic, who created those videos for me. She saw the vision and brought it to life for me just the way I wanted it. And I have another video coming, Jumpin' Jupiter, and that will close out the trilogy. I just signed a record deal with Jump Beat Records. I want to shout out Jump Beat Records for giving me my first record deal. I have a song coming out called Babe, Let's Shake. It's dedicated to my wife. It's called Jack in House. So it's not the future space sound, you know, you see in a spacesuit. It's nothing like that. It's Jack in House. That's coming out soon. So shout out to Jump Beat Records and Bradley. I want to shout out also my brother from another mother, Honore. I have music out of him, a song called Heartbeats and Heat. Check out the video on YouTube. Also, I have another video out called Get Up. This is also with Honore. It's all about showing the DJ love. Everybody in the club, show the DJ love. Everybody get up. That's out. I also want to shout out my brother BZ, my house music brother, and just share some light to the new producers and DJs. Do not be afraid to be you. Put out music that comes from you. Do not try to be like no one else. Don't be afraid to be you. Step out of the box. Don't allow the negativity to slow you down. That's been my philosophy because I know I'm different. I mentioned it earlier. I'm going to always be me. And those who love you will love you for you.
That's some wisdom right there. Should insert some air horns right behind that.
Much love.
Yes, thank you. Now, before we close, I'll turn it over to Breezy in case you have anything that you want to share.
Oh, no. I mean, I can't follow and act like that. So, yeah, DJ Milk D, you said it all. So thank you for joining us today.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you both for having me. Much love to you both. Much respect. And I do hope to come back another time for sure.
Awesome. All right. That does it for this week's edition of Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. Once again, we thank you so much for tuning in to hang out with us. We really appreciate you. And we definitely appreciate our home stations, Grander Radio out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Sparks Radio out of Atlanta, Georgia. And you know what? I'm already looking forward to next week. We got another guest lined up coming to join us. So tune in to that. Mark us on the calendars, which, I mean, we hope you do that anyway. But yeah, she's a real delight, and we're excited to have her on the show next week.
Oh, yeah. So don't miss out.
All right. And so till next time, you know where to find us. Tune in, tell a friend. We'll see you then. Peace.